it gets tossed around a lot. Oh, you got to have a good tempo and a good rhythm. What really is a good tempo and a good rhythm is the ratio between your backswing and your downswing. So those beeps that we've heard there, your 3 beeps, I'm gonna switch it on again later on, is start of the backswing, top of the backswing, and contact. Right? And that's down to a 3-to-1 ratio. So between the beep 1, beep 2, takes 3 times more time than actually from the second to the third beep, right? So you see all your guys that play on tour, usually you'll see them all have really nice tempo and they absolutely annihilate and flush the golf ball. Even on the LPGA Tour, you see all these lovely looking smooth swings that hit a 7-iron 150 yards in the air without absolutely any effort. What I use tour tempo a lot of is in a lesson to kind of give people a concept of the timing in their golf swing, right? So let's switch this on again. This is pretty much also where kind of Rory would be with his golf swing tempo at that kind of timing. There we go, that was better.
Yeah, so that felt a little bit closer to what my tempo is.
Yes.
Interesting. I'm sure it takes a few balls to kind of get in the rhythm of it to try and match up, because part of you wants to anticipate that start. Let's say you looked at me hitting that shot based on that tempo. What would you say?
I would say that would be a pretty good match for you, because sometimes I think in your golf swing, you get a bit fast from top down, right? So if you actually start getting that tempo good and you're focusing on kind of between beep 1, beep 2, and kind of almost kind of waiting for that beep 2 to happen, it helps you get transition better.
Yeah, and I just did a whole bunch of videos with Steve Furlonger talking on improving the invisible forces in the golf swing. So how you shift your pressure throughout the golf swing. And in my attempt to get everything moving at the right amount of time, so essentially I was delivering the most amount of force at the moment of impact to further increase my swing speed, we talked about that my one hindrance was the fact that I do get a little bit too quick. I don't wait enough at the top of the swing. Now, we're not just saying that as a general throw out there term that everyone should do, wait for the top, but when I do this with that beat, I feel like I have to wait.
And most people do, right? So let's switch this off again. There's so much concept out there where they go like, hey, you know, I always hear I should kind of take it back low and slow, and then the next one says, no, you got to be fast going back. So it's like, and there's so much contradictive things out there. And what I see with most people when I use this, they go like, wow, that's a lot slower than I thought going up. It's actually the opposite. I very rarely see somebody that takes it up like a slouch and almost, you know, has breakfast all the way up to the top. They'll realize, oh yeah, well, I've got all this time to get organized. And the smoother and better that tempo is from like start to the top, everything they do, they get a lot more feedback to.
For sure.
Where am I with everything, right? And it's also one of my faults. See, the first time I tried this, I went to like that tempo that you had there, and I thought, this is kind of slow. Right? Because I felt I was much quicker going into the top, which will cause issues in my transition. And then suddenly I realized, hey, actually, if I have all this time to kind of get where I want, much more easy.
For sure, for sure.
And I didn't lose any power at all and felt like I could do this all day long without breaking a sweat. So you can see we've got long game and short game here. So you got 18/6, which would be that 3-to-1 ratio from these 2 beeps, but a lot faster.
A lot faster,
If we talk Steve Furlonger, this is much more what your long drivers would do at that pace. I imagine such explosive long swings that fast will produce a lot of force, a lot of speed, a lot of power. This is more like, see, it kind of slows down. We're taking it from 21 to 7.
So that's the one that I was doing before?
That's more like, see, we talked actually with Steve Furlonger on this one. He said that's pretty much like your longer hitting PGA Tour player kind of swings to this tempo. Your Rorys, right? They're all in that kind of range.
That's nice.
And then your average would be this, which again, to me, feels super slow, right? Like almost like
that does,
falling asleep.
Yeah, that's way too slow. It feels like I've, interesting.
And that's why I think there's a bunch of range of timings. And depending on who you have in front of you, right? Especially like with a lady, right? I have, for example, this one particular lady that comes to mind that I do a lot of work with, is she has the fastest backswing I've ever seen in my life. Like if she'd had soapy hands, the freaking thing would fly out of her hands, right? So we did it at that tempo And for her, that felt like, wow,
Yeah.
this is so slow. Even the slightly fast one to her still felt slow. But the minute she started doing it, everything we talked about where she wants to get her golf swing to go started just gelling, clicking so much easier because of awareness that she created.
So as you can see, tempo, don't overlook it. Great little app there, Tour Tempo, to work on getting that 3-to-1 ratio. It might just be exactly what you need to sequence up and smooth out your golf swing and get some better results.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.